Coming up on our version of The Wire, perfect drift scores in Kentucky. Frankel pulls a switch in the Ruffian and still wins. Cuvée has 3 graded wins, and he's not even 3 yet. And the Fairplex is up and running in Pomona. It's all about racing next on Long John Silver's Wire to Wire.
Long John Silver's Wire to Wire, presented by Citgo.
The lake at Belmont Park, a huge racing weekend there. Welcome to Long John Silver's Wire to Wire. Jeff Metters along with Randy Moss. And racing at Belmont this past weekend was just pure entertainment.
Yeah, every weekend at Belmont Park in their fall championship meeting has some serious implications for the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. Sunday when we were there, we were focused primarily on the 2-year-olds, and that's where we'll begin Final Furlongs with a look back at the Futurity Stakes. 1 mile around 1 turn. This was run on Sunday. Cuvée was the heavy favorite against a field that included the horse chasing him there, impressive maiden winner Value Plus, and Giants Causeway's full brother, the European shipper Tumble Brutus. As we pick up the action, though, that's Cuvée saying goodbye.
Cuvée and Jerry Bailey will just coast home to take the Futurity Stakes with style. They won by 7 dominating lengths.
Cuvée now the early favorite for the Bessemer Trust Juvenile. Value Plus didn't help his cause by breaking last, and Tumble Brutus stunk up the joint. Cuvée will now be sent directly to the mile and a 16th Juvenile by trainer Steve Asmussen, who has never had a Breeders' Cup starter. Cuvée clearly has the talent. Look at that Beyer speed figure, 102. The question, can he be as effective at a 2-turn mile and a 16th? His sire is sprint sire, Carson City. The same day at Turfway Park, the Kentucky Cup Juvenile. Pomeroy, the odds-on favorite, drifts out right there into the path of the second favorite, the Cliff's Edge. That turned out to be very important because Pomeroy held on to win it. The jockey of the Cliff's Edge, Shane Sellers, claimed foul against Pomeroy's jockey Edgar Prado. But look at the rail. That's long shot Mr. Jester getting up to finish second. Pomeroy was disqualified. Mr. Jester, at odds of 20-1, made the official winner. Mr. Jester paid $43.20, ridden by Rafael Bejarano. Also the juvenile division. Closing day at Del Mar, Wednesday's Del Mar Futurity. Bob Baffert going for his 8th Futurity in a row. He would not get it. His horse Cooperation finished 4th. 1-2 in that race. The 2 Mandela trainees, Siphonizer and Minister Eric. But look at the Beyer speed figure. Only an 82. The Kentucky Cup Juvenile only an 85. Not very impressive performances by the numbers. Then the fillies. This is the Matron Stakes, also Sunday. Todd Pletcher had 3. These are 2 of Pletcher's. On the inside, pace setter Lakoya. Marleybone on the outside. And Marleybone, and only her 2nd career start, ridden by Edgar Prado, will get up to win it. Owner Michael Tabor also had a big 2-year-old winner in Ireland earlier the same day. Meanwhile, Prado also rode the Bob Baffert-trained Class Above Saturday in the Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies, and she was clearly a class above.
Class above, definitely the class in here. Class above just draws off. She wins by 15, maybe more.
Class Above won by 16. A daughter of Quiet American, also the sire of Real Quiet. Owned by Padua Stable. She'd won her debut at Del Mar. Now she'll go straight to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Her Beyer speed figure, a 93, solid but not spectacular. Her trainer, Bob Baffert, who's also won the Kentucky Cup previously with some good horses. Point given, vindication. Enjoy this Addo Mile on Sunday. If you knew what we went through to get this video, that's Samson Farm Soaring 3 in the lead, but on the outside, grandstand side, Touch of the Blues, ridden by Kent DeZormo, trained by Neil Drysdale, and Touch of the Blues will edge clear to win it by a half. Perfect Soul rallied for 3rd. Wando, the Canadian Triple Crown winner, faltered to 4th. An exciting finish. Sunday's 1 mile Jerome Stakes at Belmont Park. Swap Stakes winner During on the inside, trying to hold off Taffa Seal. But During, ridden by Jose Santos, will get the job done narrowly. Pretty Wild, the 6-5 favorite, finished 3rd. During, also trained by Bob Baffert. Mac, Jim Mackingvale. Finally, the Filligan Mare Turfers, the punker up at Arlington. Watch that horse, number 1 in the middle of the course. Odd, a 15-1 long shot, ridden by Brian Peck, charged up to win it. Hale Hillary 2nd, Julie's Prize 3rd. Gary Stevens returning to Arlington for the first time since the Arlington Million spill. 4th aboard the favorite, Ho Buzzer.
And it's a Breeders' Cup Future Wager Weekend, 4 divisions. We start with the Bessemer Trust Breeders' Cup Juvenile Division, and this one is just wide open.
Absolutely. Cuvée, of course, a deserving favorite in that division after that win you just saw in the Futurity Sunday.
Juvenile fillies, you like the gals from the West.
Half Bridle earned a 99 Beyer in that win in the Del Mar Debutante. Compare that to the 102 by Cuvée. A couple of pretty nice horses there.
Top choice so far for the filly and mare turf in terms of opening odds, 6-1 Voodoo Dancer.
And this is also really wide open. If Islington there at 10-1 makes the trip over, which he probably won't, that's who I like, but I don't expect to see her. And there's the Net Jets Mile, also very evenly matched there.
Breeders' Cup Future Wager Weekend, the 19th through the 21st. Head out right now. Still to come, a wild finish in the Irish Champion Stakes featuring some of the top turf horses on the planet. We'll go at the track in LA County. And later, our race of the week, Perfect Drift versus Congaree.
This ESPN2 presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's. Boatloads of seafood are back. Citgo, we know you. The American Quarter Horse Association. Let freedom ride.
When I was in Ireland this summer, M&M was at Leopardstown. Earlier this month, a much better show, the Irish Champion Stakes, featuring High Chaparral.
That was September the 6th, 2 weekends ago. The new best race in the world so far this year. What a show these horses put on. Some names that you will recognize, including High Chaparral, who you'll see in the middle of the racetrack in those familiar Coolmore colors. In the lead, Dubai World Cup winner Moon Ballad on the inside in the green. The #1 turf horse in the world going into the race. That would be Alamshar. Stuck behind horses looking for room is Foul Brab, and on the outside in the white silks, the super filly Islington.
High Chaparral on the near side, the leader from Moon Ballad. Foul Brab has got through now and charging home on the inside as they race towards the finish. High Chaparral driven out by McKinnon. Foul Brab on the inside, gaining with every line. High Chaparral's won it.
A lot to talk about here. Mick Kinnan won it on High Chaparral. You might have seen Daryl Holland along the inside pause with Foul Brab as he perhaps was tightened up a little bit. There was a foul claim by Daryl Holland. It was disallowed. You'll see right here what I'm talking about. Daryl Holland has to stop riding for just a second. Foul claim disallowed, but Luca Camani, the trainer, has appealed. That has yet to be heard. Moon Ballad expected to make his next start in the Jockey Club Gold Cup point for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Alamshar may now pass the Breeders' Cup turf.
2 rounds of speed today. The first one is dedicated to Prairie Meadows. Starting with a $33,000 Iowa Stallion Futurity. It's a grade 3 going 350 yards. The favorite was Runaway Chief, who would be challenged by an entry from trainer Charlie Hunt.
Blend of Legend is trying to catch up, but Runaway Chief has given the field the slip. They're coming to the finish. Runaway Chief followed by Blend of Legend.
Not the quickest 350 yards of the year at Prairie Meadows, just an 83 speed index. Doesn't matter. Runaway Chief still takes home the lion's share of the purse. The margin of victory, 1 length. Trainer Charlie Hunt runs 2-3 for owner Margaret Urett. Sticking at Prairie Meadows now for the grade 3 Altoona Derby worth nearly $63,000. Apollo's 10 Bears, the 6-horse, was the favorite, but a Royal Symphony was just getting tuned up.
The Royal Symphony has come away well. My Free Willie is trying to move up. 200 yards to go down the center of the track. It's a Royal Symphony to pull the upset.
The favorite, Apollo's 10 Bears, beat 7 horses but could not get past a Royal Symphony. The colt, as you can see, has ties to the 1994 All-American Futurity, the sire of the winner there. He broke on top and was ahead at every call, paid big too, $39.60 for a winning ticket. Horses 3 and up winning the grade 3 Two River Stakes going 440 yards. An 11-horse field sent WW Vertical Expression off as the favorite, but he would duck into the gap and spoil his chances.
Iowa Gold is on the outside. I've Been Special is trying to come on. A run away. Here's Iowa Gold. Iowa Gold streaking to victory in the 9th running of the Two Rivers.
The second choice, Iowa Gold, under a hand ride, wins the Two Rivers by a length and a half, a 103 speed index. He's a gelding by runaway winner. Named Iowa Gold, but he has Lone Star aspirations in his next start. More speed a little bit later on, but still ahead for us. Lots to talk about. We will go at the track at Pomona in LA County. And coming up a little bit later on, another round of final furlongs that will include Wild Spirit in the Ruffian. Back on Long John Silver's Wire to Wire, our Citgo leaderboard checking in with the Keeneland September yearling sale. You can see the numbers up considerably from a year ago. Keep in mind there was no Keeneland July sale, but so far this year averaging about $125,000 per head. Now from the weanling, we jump right into the juveniles with pretty highly touted baby talk.
Oh, yeah. Mass media ran out of the TV September the 7th at Louisiana Downs in this allowance win by 22 lengths, coming on the heels of his 11-length career debut win against Maiden Company's Bred to Go Long by touch gold out of a 49er mare. The Pink Silks belong to Gary and Mary West, the trainer Cole Norman. Is he for real? A 100 buyer in this race, but we'll find out for sure at Keeneland and his next scheduled start, the Breeders' Futurity.
Friday opening day at the fair in Pomona, a record 133,000 turned out. They also raced their handle this weekend up 15%. Kenny Rice was our man at the track.
Who has time to debate a recall election when there's so much food? And who cares what's up with Ben and J-Lo with all these rides? Californians, a projected 1.3 million of them, are coming to the LA County Fair in Pomona this month, making it the largest county fair in the country and 5th largest fair of any kind in North America.
It's a place where you can ride the Ferris wheel and still keep up on your daily double. Welcome to the 65th racing season at Fairplex Park. 17 days of racing with 18 stakes races, stakes purses over $1.1 million, bringing the total purse to over $4 million. It's why the locals call this the biggest little track in America.
Really first starts with bringing the horse population to the track. Our barns are full. There was a great meet at Del Mar, a lot of claiming going on. But we have particular interest out of Arizona, Northern California, and up the areas of Seattle coming on down. And this is the way it always begins, full barns and a lot of customers. We were clogged on the freeways this morning getting here. We'll have about 100,000 people here. It's fantastic.
Fairplex ranks as one of the top 10 North American tracks in average daily handle, over $5 million last year. Generations of fans have come here. In 1933, parimutuel wagering was legalized in California, and the Pomona track seized the moment. This was the first place Southern Californians could put money down on a thoroughbred race. And over the decades, Fairplex has attracted all-star trainers and jockeys, maintaining competition on the 5/8-mile track affectionately called the Bull Ring, and presenting handicappers with an interesting challenge.
I would honestly say these are the most wide-open handicapping races of the whole year because of that very factor. They're coming from all over. They're coming from Arizona. They're coming from Washington State. They're coming from Northern California. And then you get the guys that are just dropping. They've run 4th or 5th down at Del Mar against much tougher, and they're taking a slight drop in class, and they're normally the ones that are the deadliest out there. But from a handicapping point of view, I think this is really a handicapper's paradise.
For over 50 years, legendary trainer Mel Studi has been bringing horses to Fairplex. He's won more races and more stakes races here than any trainer. Appropriately, he is the first inductee into their new Hall of Fame.
Well, I was raised in Baldwin Park, which is about 7 or 8 miles from here. When I was a little boy, they used to give me a free ticket at school to come to the Pomona Fair. And ever since then, it's kind of been the big spot for me to get into the Pomona Fair.
Fairplex's involvement with racing isn't limited to the meet.
We're an important part of California racing. We're an entire racing complex. We do training here. Our racing program, our sales program with the Barracks facility that we acquired last year as a sole owner on. And we're a very important part of the whole fabric of the racing climate here in Southern California, if not all of California.
Fairplex also served as the Mexican racetrack Agua Caliente for the movie Seabiscuit. It's always more than just a fair experience in Pomona, California. I'm Kenny Rice for Wire to Wire.
And we didn't even get a corn dog.
It should be mandatory. Every racetrack should have a tilt-a-whirl and a scrambler. That's my vote.
It would keep it interesting. Now to Final Furlongs Part 2. Bobby Frankel, is he just a good trainer, or does he have great instincts?
He's on an incredible roll all year long. He's even getting married this year. October the 12th, he set the date, yeah. And his role continued on Saturday in the Ruffian Stakes. He had intended to run Sightseek in that race, but she was coughing, so Frankel called an audible and instead entered Wild Spirit. The same Wild Spirit that had just lost at 1-5 odds to Passing Shot in the Personal Ensign. This time, Wild Spirit's odds were 1-2.
Passing Shot is toiling third. They're coming down to the finish. And it's going to be Frankel 1-2. Wild Spirit wins a wide but successful journey today.
Wild Spirit by 3.5 over stablemate U. Jerry Bailey up. The 110 buyer puts her in the Azeri realm, but she may not run in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. Remember, she's not a Breeders' Cup nominee. It would cost $400 grand to run her in that race. Bobby Frankel sounds like that's not what he's going to do. Wild Spirit's next start, the $750,000 Bell Dame, October 4th. Here was Frankel's quote: "If she wins for $750,000, why would I need to go to the Breeders' Cup with her and put up all that money?" Stay tuned. Also in the Breeders' Cup division, Smokin' Frolic won Saturday's Turfway Breeders' Cup. That's her on the inside, owned by Dogwood Sable, trained by Todd Fletcher. Awesome Humor second. Edgar Prado getting another win. Smokin' Frolic, not really a serious Breeders' Cup Classic or Breeders' Cup distaff candidate, but she's won $1.2 million in her career. Grass Milers Saturday at Belmont in the Belmont Breeders' Cup. On the inside, in the lead, that's Breeders' Cup Classic hero Volpone. 5 straight second-place finishes, and this wasn't Volpone's day either.
And Della Francesca coming hard in the far outside. They're coming down to the finish, and it's going to be Della Francesca, a 16-1 upset.
Della Francesca, ridden by Jorge Chavez. Rouvray finished second, Volpone third. Della Francesca, the latest purchase by trainer Niall O'Callaghan from the Coolmore boys in his native Ireland. Co-owner, University of Louisville coach Rick Pitino, who just happened to be on a recruiting trip up there and got to watch the race. Volpone still hasn't won since the Classic. His next start scheduled to be the Meadowlands Cup, but Volpone fans don't give up just yet. Last year, he'd lost 4 straight going into the Classic, including a second in this race, the Belmont Breeders' Cup, and a second in the Meadowlands Cup. Floral Park, filly and mare sprinters. Bauhauser, the gray, a 5-year-old mare imported from Argentina by owners Bill Heiligbo and Johnny T.L. Jones, holds off the consistent Shine Again, who had to settle for second for the 4th straight time. Bauhauser, trained by Steve Asmussen, ridden by Richard Migliori. And finally, the Kentucky Cup Sprint, won by Cajun Beat and jockey Cornelio Velasquez. Pat Ewa Stable, the owner, getting another one. A good effort for Cajun Beat, a 111 buyer speed figure, but also for the runner-up. Look at him on the inside. Clock Stopper. Stopped at the top of the stretch, still finished second. Might have been the best horse. Cajun Beat coming off a second to Valid Video in the Carryback Stakes at Calder, which is turning out to be a key race. Valid Video won the King's Bishop out of that race at his very next start.
Time is now to sign up to play the ESPN Pick 6 Challenge presented by Digiturf.com Virtual Horse Racing. 2 winners over the weekend. You can sign up right now. Weekly cash prizes, $600 this weekend, plus a season-end bonus. Just go to ESPN.com and click on horse racing. Upcoming stakes this weekend, the big one has to be the Super Derby down at Louisiana Downs.
On Saturday, 3 of the top contenders. Travers winner 10 Most Wanted by sire Deputy Commander, who not only won the Travers, Deputy Commander also won the Super Derby. Grand Ombre, winner of the Pennsylvania Derby. Soto also in that race, which has been a big prep over the years for the Breeders' Cup Classic.
And it's also the first ever Washington Cup Day at Emerald Downs on Sunday. 8 stakes, including the $100,000 Gottstein Futurity for the 2-year-old. Should be a great day of racing. And as we push ahead, still to come, AB Water Runner goes grade 1 at Los Alamitos. And our race of the week, Perfect Drift, is right on stride.
This ESPN2 presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's. Boatloads of seafood are back. Citgo, we know you. NTRA.com, the official site of the NTRA and the Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information, from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the thoroughbred industry's official database.
Back in the fast lane on speed, the finals of the Millie Vessels Memorial at Los Alamitos, a grade 1 for the fillies and mares. The overwhelming favorite, filly sensation, AB Water Runner. Here's what happened.
And away they go in the Mildred Vessels Memorial Handicap, and a perfect start for AB Water Runner. Your First Moon came away running well as Royal Time Classic down along the inside. Dynasty Atoll now begins to close in fast on the far outside as AB Water Runner going on strongly. Pure Rhythm had to take up sharply. Dynasty Atoll is making a big run, and so is Royal Time Classic, and it's going to be AB Water Runner just edging out Royal Time Classic.
She won the All-American Futurity last year, the Millie Vessels, just the latest grade 1 on her resume. She holds off Royal Time Classic by just a nose. AB Water Runner remains a perfect 7 for 7 in her career. G.R. Carter was on board for trainer Brett Vickery. Career earnings almost $1.1 million. Now for the grade 3 Iowa Stallion Derby. Up for the challenge was the second choice, Shake You Down. Who would put away the favorite, Lose Little Shake 'em, in the closing strides.
Far outside, Shake You Down is coming on. On the extreme outside, Shake You Down. Up to win the 6th running of the Iowa Stallion Derby.
Shake You Down is a gelding by Shake 'em Open out of a special effort mare. He rose to a one-length victory over the fading favorite. Trainer Charlie Hunt, he knows the way to the winner's circle. 93 speed index, the winner's check here, about $12,000. And finally, the Valley Junction Futurity Grade 2 worth about $144,000. Like the Iowa Stallion Derby, rainy conditions and an off-track, the favorite and eventual winner would come from the outside.
Racing. A good start for all. Along the inside, Miss Racy Eyes has come away well. Not as easy as on the extreme outside. What a snowman coming on. Nearest to the rail, Miss Racy Eyes. Here's None As Easy. None As Easy now pulling away to win convincingly.
None As Easy with jockey Tom Wellington breezed to a one-length victory. The Dash and As Easy filly won with authority. It was a neck battle for the place and show spots on the board. Precious Clarice finishes second. She was the longest shot in the field. And for more information on how you can become a racing American quarter horse owner, just call 1-800-414-RIDE. Time now for our race of the week. It's the Kentucky Cup Classic worth $350,000. Murray Johnson star Perfect Drift squaring off with Bob Baffert star Congaree.
What a matchup. Congaree fresh off that win in the Hollywood Gold Cup, that awesome win. That was a couple of months earlier. This was his first start since then. That's Congaree on the outside. Pressing pace setter Crafty Shaw through pretty slow fractions there. 24-48. Perfect Drift. The winner of the Stephen Foster over Mine Shaft. What a matchup. A mile and an eighth. As you said, $350,000 at stake, plus a boatload of seafood.
And Congaree now opens the lead out to a length. Still Crafty Shaw second ahead. Perfect Drift moves closer up on the outside. Then a gap of 4 back to even the score in NBC. As they move down the back stretch, the half and 48-1. Congaree under a tight hold still has the lead. Now Perfect Drift going after him on the outside. Crafty Shaw is next, then even the score in NBC. They're into the turn. Congaree by a head. Perfect Drift on the outside. Crafty Shaw has dropped back. Even the score moves up and NBC trails. As they move for the stretch, it's Congaree and Perfect Drift. These two hook up into the stretch. Then up on the outside, that's even the score. Congaree still with the head in front. Perfect Drift on the outside. Now Perfect Drift gets the lead. Perfect Drift under Pat Day begins to draw off from Congaree. Perfect Drift beats Congaree by a length.
He's beaten Mine Shaft. He's beaten Congaree. Didn't fire on the grass at the Arlington Million, but who cares? The 4-year-old gelding by Dynaformer, 8 of 16, $1.7 million. Trainer Murray Johnson's pretty set on his year-end plans with him.
And it doesn't include the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is raising a lot of eyebrows. Instead, he's going to run Perfect Drift in the Hawthorne Gold Cup. Why would he do that? Well, he says that as a gelding, he wants to keep Perfect Drift's racing career going for a long time, a la John Henry. Congaree, in his first start since that Gold Cup, stumbled a bit at the start, but that really didn't matter. But did you see how easy Pat Day went by Congaree on Perfect Drift? He didn't even raise his whip. It reminded me of the Stephen Foster. After which he told Murray Johnson, I had Mine Shaft anytime I wanted him. The same thing with Congaree. Just look at that. Effortless win. Why would you not run this horse in the Breeders' Cup Classic? They went to the Classic last year and ran poorly as a long shot. This year they would have to be among the favorites, but he's not going.
Just another mystery. We'll be back next Tuesday at 2 Eastern. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.